उड़ जाएगा हंस अकेला, जुग दर्शन का मेला, जैसे पात गिरे तरुवर से, मिलना बहुत दुहेला. The swan will fly away all alone. Spectacle of the world will be a mere fair, as the leaf falls from the tree is difficult to find. We hear the Kabir Bhajan towards the end of the film Qala that talks about a lonely swan amidst the paradox of life. We had earlier seen this swan of our story, singer Qala Manjushri, positioned as the metaphorical Saraswati, the center of fame, beauty, and worship for her golden voice, which enthralls the country. We are immediately reminded of Lata Mangeshkar as the nation addresses her as Didi, and the newspaper refer to her as the Nightingale, thus establishing a meta subtext of its own. And that immediately connects back to the sister Qala never was in life, as her twin brother died in her mother's womb, or the sister she never cherished to be, to Jagan, her mother's beloved protege. And yet there's sisterhood she weaves around her, in her connections to other women in her life, the only ones she can trust and seek shelter from. You see, that is the beauty of this new film by Anvita Dutt, a new chapter to her feminine fantasies, as Qala connects urban legends to mythical motifs, the black swan of depression to the white swan of arts through its subtexts and subtle touches, and a horrific tragedy at its core. There are so many films calling out patriarchy. We can't believe the number of times we repeat this word in our essays every month. But the way Qala blends in its themes and motives is unique, presented through the soul-soothing music of Amit Trivedi all the way. And then we realize how music, the purest of all arts, is far from being bereft of the same patriarchy. कोई कैसे उन्हें ये समझाए, सजनिया के मन में अभी इनकार है, जाने बलमा घोड़े पे क्यों सवार है. How can someone explain to him? There is still denial in the bride's mind. I do not know why my lover is in such a hurry. As the beautiful rendition by Sirisha Bhagwatula touches your heart, Amitabh Bhattacharya's deceptive lyrics carries forward the central theme of the film. What appears as foreplay on the surface might well be inferred as the no means no stand. It's just that the 40s Calcutta when the song is being recorded, or the glamour world of Indian cinema, or music to which Qala belonged, could never come out in a strong voice to cry out the feminine denial in public. The entire set piece of this song's recording is a pure gem. Young Qala recording her first song with an all-male orchestra and their taunts under the directions and mansplaining of a predator who also happens to be one of the most celebrated artists of the country. Qala is nervous, unable to pull through the playfulness that is expected. Of course, it is her first playback, and also the lines that might just not be only playful. Qala struggles and struggles, succumbs beyond her integrity and self-respect, and then goes numb within to fetch the desired spirited quality that the country instantly celebrates. Thus, this becomes the entire paradox of the film and our society in a brilliant set piece. We hear lyricist Majru in the story, played by Varun Grover in a clever cameo, suggests to Qala how she will continue to be exploited as long as she doesn't speak. Daur badlega. Daur ki yeh purani aadat hai. Things will change for good in the future, he adds, as we connect back to the #MeToo movement of our times and then wonder, have things really changed as Majru wanted them to be? We definitely have come a long way from the times of Qala. But perhaps the Majrus of today, the real-life Varun Grover, is still craving for that more unbiased future. How beautifully Qala merges our past to present and reminds us that the future is for us to choose. The timelines also overlap, as Qala places subtle homages across its runtime, be it for Homai Vyarawala, India's first female photographer, be it the mention of Indira Gandhi, the only female prime minister of the country, be it in nods to Majru Sultanpuri or KL Sehgal. And you eventually realize that Babil Khan's character Jagan is based on the forgotten genius Master Madan, the ghazal singer of pre-independence India who could only record 8 songs before reportedly dying of mercury poisoning of milk in Shimla. His rendition of Nirbhav Nirvair elevates to yet another meta level. बिखरने का मुझको शौक है बड़ा, समेटेगा मुझको तू बता जरा. I have a fondness of breaking apart. Tell me if you would collect me when I break. Another amazing composition, our favorite one from the album, and yet again deceptively indicative. How romantic it feels for a man to proclaim how fragile he is, and then to leave to his woman to shelter him in his fragility, as if it's a woman's duty or expression of love to take care of his man, be his support, as this is his story and not her. It's like when Qala tries to participate in this song and is stopped by her mother in the middle. She says "baat" and then her voice fades away. Her words do not complete as Jagan, her mother's protege, takes up from there and completes the song. And this is the premise Anvita Dutt uses to tell her story of a butterfly with broken wings. A mother's continual subjugation and dismissal of her daughter's presence and skills. For a son she never had to pass on the baton of musical legacy of the family. And then she finds Jagan, a musician with immense potential, and more importantly, a boy whom she can embrace as a son that pushes off Qala further. But then unlike the song, this is Qala's story, as she uses her mind, soul and body to break free from this inheritance of bias to become the apple of the nation's eye, the Saraswati image as the film flashes in front of our eyes. But what about the bruises one faces through this journey? The irreversible cuts and tears that leave you a completely different human being to the one who took up the journey. Qala captures that journey where the end clearly does not justify the means. But why should one need to get down to such means is the question that director Anvita strongly voices. She also suggests how things are gore and bloody beneath the velvety carpeted celebrity lives, and the mess one is in real life is not necessarily a burden of fame or focus alone, but in many ways a continuation of the bias you carry from the normal societal living. The tears and trepidations that we witness in the glamour world might just be an exaggerated reflection of the hushed-up episodes in our own living. Fero na nazar se nazariya. Don't take off your eyes from me. Tripti Dimri as Qala plays out this angst for validation and visibility across the film so beautifully. Her performance looks a bit animated to start with, but once you settle into the world of Qala, you realize why Anvita and her muse chose this challenging tone for this character. Qala is constantly performing in her life, for her mother, for her fans, or for the industry where she has only a handful of true friends. The happy facades of her good days, or the delusions of her bad moments, somewhere converge as her entire existence is built upon a painful reality, like the cold numbing snow that often surrounds her in real and surreal, or the mercury droplets that's shining outside but poisonous inside. Anvita, like her previous film Bulbul, constantly uses such metaphorical motifs to create alluring frames that push ahead her story. In Bulbul, this approach felt a tad too much. Qala could also have been more economical in terms of the richness of frames, but considering its world of music and cinema, it does not deter the audience in any way. Babil Khan in his debut is effortless as Jagan. There's an obvious nostalgia that takes over every time you watch him on screen or hear his voice. But leaving aside that overwhelming shadow of his late father, Babil is easy on your eyes and senses to bring out the spirit of a true artist. Swastika Mukherjee plays one of the toughest roles of her career. She is good, even though the role of Urmila still demanded more. However, what's most interesting is how a matriarch carries the baton of patriarchy in Qala, that eventually engulfs voices be male or female, establishing the deep-rooted impact of the misplaced gender politics of our history and society. There is a Himachali lullaby that we hear at the start and the end of the film, the start and end to Qala's journey. A little girl tells her mother how she's afraid of a peacock singing at a distance in the song, as her mother suggests to get a gun and kill the bird. But the kid denies and proposes to cage it instead, and thus silence it. Qala is a story of such grimy undercurrents. A piece of art, much like its name, is about the inheritance of loss shadowed behind the inheritance of artistry. That is all from us today. Thank you for watching.